New Orleans Jazzman. So that's a fun one, and I felt it worked nicer with this backtrack. It's basically a drum machine here. This one's Drum Genius. I also use Super Metronome. This one actually has actual recordings, and you can select from them, so more authentic, I think, recordings. The other one is more like a metronome, but a multi-track dimensional metronome. So yeah, have fun with that. You can check that out. This particular one was traditional beat a la Esquire. So there's a whole section of New Orleans drum samples there. Okay, so in this one, it does allow you to do different speeds, so maybe we'll slow it down and play it together. As far as spots to check out first and to work on over time, I'd say the opening, I started pizzicato just to get the style, and the jazz style in this popular in a lot of styles, we want to emphasize 2 and 4 just as much as 1 and 2, if not more, because we have the bass note on 1 and then we want the backbeat on 2 and 4. So I practice that a little bit. It's easier when you have the metronome, the super metronome, because it's already in there in the drums, right? So you feel it. But even if you practice without, the beginning would be you're going to emphasize those chromatic notes anyways. beats 2 and 4. Then we get to measure 9, and if you're still pizzicato here, you have, again, we're going to do the right hand thumb, and then the fingers, first finger or second finger, like that. Let's try it together. Ready, play. Like that. I switched to arco 17, and again, feeling the backbeat. In fact, I mark little accents in my parts that you can download. At least part of it I'll have available for you. And then there's some, across the page turns are always tricky. I have a pedal here, but anticipate the page turns. You'll see in my part, I actually marked the rests. I want to be counting during the rests. So on measure 31, it's 1, 4, 1, 2. And so I'm thinking in my head, audiating that, because as you get faster, it can get confusing. Let's see, as far as swinging in the notes, the first spot where you sort of have to decide how much swing you're going to put in is measure 28. When we have regular eighth notes, in classical music, we would just play it straight, like that. But in jazz, it could be anywhere from that to that. Usually it's somewhere in between. A triplet is probably the best compromise. Most of these drum tracks fit pretty well with the triplet feel. So you're going to want to play it, even though it's written as eighth notes, you want to play it as triplet eighth notes, like this. Or like that. Da, 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 da. Ready, play. Like that. Next spot, 41, you're going to emphasize the second beat, second and fourth beat. We go up into position at 49, so that's a spot probably want to practice. That is all in position, even at 53, 54, 55, 56, all in position. So maybe we should practice that. Let's start at 49. And let's go slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to open as he has marked as well. So that whole section, those two lines are all in thumb position. Nice exercise, plays, fits under the hand nicely. And then you can practice with the swing. And I actually had fun randomly adding in some slurs. I didn't do it in the performance, but that is something you can do. You can add some slurs. So like I sort of randomly added some slurs for inflection, just as if there were some words in there. But you can have fun with that. Then I think the trickiest part for me are the spots where I have to count through the rest, keep that groove going when I'm not playing. So that's, well, it's in different places. One of them is at 64. And then I added some fingerings just to make it easier for me to learn this quickly, and it might help you, give you some fingering ideas. like at 65, I did some little bit different. I went, no, 85, sorry, 85. I went, and then I went 2-1. 2-1. You'll find what you like. And I was so happy to find Aaron Minsky's recording at measure 94, delightful recordings, but 94, that glissando is almost for a whole bar, which is sort of fun. So you can decide how long you want that. And then 119, there's a long run. When you practice it slowly, I would just take an extra bow. So I do this bowing. I take a bow, I take 2 bows in bar 120. So I go like this, 3, 4. Like that. I think I did the same fingering. I went up the D string. I'm not sure. It works out, but going up the D string gets the shift to thumb position out of the way before the critical high note. So ready, play. Like that. And the last note, as opposed to with that jazz, has some non-harmonic tones or way out there notes. Okay, let's try it now together at a slower tempo with the drum genius. So what tempo do we want? I had it at 180 to a quarter note. He has actually even faster marked. And I think, yeah, this could work almost like a bebop tune. But we're gonna do it slower. We're gonna start it, how about, I don't know, this might be D, da, 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 da. You're gonna always slow down this more on YouTube. You can always slow it or speed it up by increments of 5% if you find the setting. So we're gonna do 144 now, okay? Here we go. 144, 1 bar. 1, 2, ready, play. lots of fun. I think I did miss one note, just so you're not misled. Measure 48, the last note. I think I played a C sharp. It worked okay, but yeah, that's not C sharp. But a lot of fun. That's one of the things we rarely get to play is jazz. It's not a traditional instrument, but I'd encourage you to try and do that if you can. If you have that opportunity to play in a jazz band, I actually have quite a few students have just inserted themselves in the back of the jazz band 3, and the trombone section works really well. It learns the trombone parts. So I'd recommend that, or get your own combo together and play some jazz arrangements. But this is one of the rare tunes that's just cello alone and has all of that wonderful early jazz flair. So I hope you enjoy that.